again, everyone. This is Percival. I am just recording this just to let you know the beginnings of my dealings with the occult and living in a haunted house. I started reading about the occult when I honestly was about 8 years old. My mother worked at a library, and I just loved to read books on ESP, ghosts, witches, witchcraft, demonology. Not so much witchcraft, but witches and kids' books. But that was really the beginning of my yearning for the supernatural, and I just love that stuff. And I think she's just happy that one of her kids loved to read. And then, as the years grew on, I became clairsentient. I could know when there was a haunting. I could know when there was a ghost or some kind of paranormal activity. I couldn't see it, but my mind would create an image of what I think I was seeing. And it was pretty accurate, I think, on my part. But I lived in an apartment with a buddy, and in my bedroom I saw this, I got this feeling, and I saw this old man wearing khaki pants and like a yellow old plaid shirt with suspenders, gray suspenders, and he was leaning up against the wall with his hands in his pockets, just watching me sleep. Well, going to sleep. And then I moved into a house that was haunted, and since the very first night, I just got the heebie-jeebies of the closet in my bedroom. And then one night I went to bed, and I saw this old lady, and she was sitting on the foot of my bed, not on my bed, sitting after the foot of my bed, kind of like where a bed could have been. And she was wrapped head to toe in like a lacy gauze, like a funeral thing, like a shawl, covered her from head to toe, and it was ivy leaves. And she had ivy leaves over her eyes. The window, the shade was open, and it was the moon was quite full that night, and the light from the moon was reflecting on her eyeballs. I couldn't see her eyes. I could see the reflection from her eyeballs, and I screamed. I went under the covers, and then I passed out. Next morning, told my roommate. He didn't believe me, and then became a series of trying to tell my roommate that the house was haunted. We heard footsteps. Real footsteps upstairs, and he kind of was like, I don't know what to think about that. There was phantom cats. Cat walked in the room one time, walked by my legs. I felt it hit my legs. Walked over to my friend. He bent, picked it up. There's no cat there. I immediately blocked the door, turned on the light. We searched that room. There's absolutely only one way in that room. There's no cat. There was never a cat that walked by. It's all in our heads. Well, supposedly to make us think it was in our heads. Another time, I bent down and picked up my cat. I thought it was my cat. Put him on my shoulder. Walked out of the room. I saw my two cats. And then I looked over to see what cat I had on my shoulder. And I was never holding a cat. It was like I never picked up a cat. It was on my mind, which it wasn't, because I picked it up. But that's what the demon wanted you to believe. I saw a little boy in my dining room table one night alone, and I saw him in the glass door of my entertainment center, and he was humming, and I could hear him humming. And he was scribbling. And then I saw these 4 men standing behind him, and each one, the first one looked just like dark face, man. The other one was bloated. The last one, his face was almost like a triangle, and he had fangs. And he was looking right past the boy, right at me. My hands went up to my face, my eyes, closed my eyes, and then I started doing my Kabbalistic ritual of the lesser banishing ritual of the pentagram, which is to banish negativity. Worked briefly, but and anyway, then after that, it was not that long. I walk in my bedroom. I had some books in my hand. Walk into my living room, and I see this black pit in the hallway. And I turn and I look, and there's this black shape. It's like the shape of a man, had a head, big broad shoulders, and it just went straight down. This wasn't a shadow on a wall. This was taking up space in my hallway. It was black. You couldn't see through it. It was black. It was tall. My ceiling was 9 feet tall. It was 9 feet tall. And it was looking right at me. And I knew it was looking right at me. And it knew that I knew that it was there. And I could hear him in my head. Who the F are you? Get out of my effing house. But I'll tell you, face to face, well, face to camera to face, this thing, the second I saw it, I knew this thing never knew what it was like to be a human, to be a man, to be born of a woman. It had no idea. This thing was a demon. It was totally scared the shit out of me. And I screamed. And I'm like, ah! I was like, wow! I scream, and I run in the other room, and I tell my friend, and I felt like a cartoon. I was like, demon. And he goes, he walks out in the room, walks out, walks right back in. His face is white as a ghost. I said, you see it? No, but I felt it. And when I was standing there, I felt all my energy just go right into the thing. All my heat became ice cold. My knees became weak as jelly. I mean, I know strength in me. Later, weeks later, whatever, I'd be in the bathroom and we had a frosted glass doors, which I hate glass doors. I saw the shadow walk by, and it was the same shadow, the same demon. And my bedroom window, my bathroom window was really narrow and it was really high. And on the outside, you would have to have been like 20 feet to even cast a shadow through my window. But here was a shadow walking by my glass door. So I peek, there's nothing there. It was horrifying. Horrifying. I'd be praying to God and to get me out of here, to get rid of the demon, and nothing happened. My rituals weren't working. Hardly ever working. And I ended up having a friend that did voodoo, and he was a clairvoyant. And he came in the house, and he checked out. I didn't tell him anything about the house, anything what happened. He came in the house, and he said, you've got a demon, and he's trapped in your house. And he's spinning. And the more he spins, the more he laughs. And the more he laughs, the more he gets off on his own laughter. And the more he gets off, the more power he raises, more energy, until he gets enough energy where he can manifest and do something in the house, cause things to happen. I walked on eggshells for 9 months of my life in that house. And finally, after weighing 110 pounds, hardly eating, being sick from, I don't know what, I would be sick for no reason at all. I was being worn thinner and thinner and weaker and weaker. 110 pounds. I was a skeleton. I was a skeleton. I would wake up and I'd be sick for no reason. Not throwing up, just weary. I couldn't get out of the couch. I slept on the couch for 6 months. And I tell you, my soul was burnt from that experience. And I left that house, and then that's when I got into Wicca. And Wicca was really, I loved Wicca, but, you know, when I left that house, I kept being drawn to it. Me and my friends would hang outside. Just parked outside, just watching that place. What's going to happen? What's going to happen now? I saw a mother and her young boy walk in the house, and I was like, oh my God, if they only knew what's going on. Not even a month later, they moved out. This is a real house with real haunting, a demon. And I can write a book about this, but if you believe me, awesome. If you don't, I really don't care. I know it's true.